It's your boy Ric James. I thought I would weigh in on what's going on with this George Lopez, Ralph Barbosa beef, I guess. I know that by the time I put this out, people are going to be like, oh, this thing's over. LA Times reported that George has since apologized to him. But I wanted to weigh in because I felt like this is finally my opportunity to shed the light on what I've known for fucking years. And what I've known is that George is an ass. All right. I did a show with him, throwing it up. I did a show with him in October of 2015, and we were scheduled to do 6 shows, I believe. I did the first one, and he came out and told me there's only going to be one funny Latin comic on there, and it was going to be him and nobody else. Got kicked off the other shows, put it out to my people that I was opening up for the Dendada, who I thought at that time. But I realized he was just the nada. So I loved what Steve Trevino did on that podcast with George. I had Steve on my podcast. If you haven't seen that, check that out. But I talk about it with Steve, and I talk about how Latin comics really don't help us out. We talked about it off camera as well and on camera. So I just want to say my hat's off to Steve for saying what he said and bringing it up. And it was eloquently put. And thank you, Steve. Thank you for getting this man to finally talk and show his ass. So we appreciate that. This dude has just, I don't understand how some people get power and then use it for that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to say thanks. If you guys check out the podcast with me and Steve, it was a great podcast. I also have another clip that I put out, and I kind of put it on private because I felt like they were my thoughts. But anybody that's been on the podcast, I didn't want to reflect on them. So let me first and foremost put it out there. Those are all my thoughts. This clip that I put up that said, that's labeled "Fuck George Lopez." That's my thoughts and feelings. And it was only because of when I did the shows with him, how rude he was when I got kicked off them shows. So, I just felt like it could have went a different way. I see from other Latin comics, and that's why I wanted to put this video out, because I was hoping that another Latin comic would come out and we'd start posting and putting about it, because now it's a different age. There's social media. And if you're an ass, then sometimes people can put you out there on blast. So, I know I'm not going to be everybody's friend myself, but I try to be good to other people in this industry because I understand how hard it is working in this industry. So, thank you guys again for watching. I'm going to put up the clip if you haven't already seen it. Here's the clip, what we're talking about when George was just totally out there with some of the comments. And you get to see for yourself what it's like to hear this man say what he does and does what he says. All right? Check it out.
But I think maybe I wasn't always the most helpful individual back then. But what I have done is I've left a template on how to do shit. And then it's somebody's duty to go and do it.
Exactly.
Correct. And that's the legacy. Is I left the legacy for guys to follow the fucking crumbs the path that was there.
You crack the door, it's our job to kick it open.
Go get it.
Don't blame me for what he didn't give me. Get up off your ass and do it.
Well, I've changed.
It's that simple. You had to do it without somebody leading you. And now it's
but it is up to us to the Ralph Barbosas of the world to turn around and go, hey man, I want to make the path for you easy.
But nobody knows who that motherfucker is. What are you saying his name, man?
Look, I think he's great, and I'm doing it
wrong to say, Aaron?
I'm doing exactly what I'm preaching is.
What do you mean you don't
can
know
we
him?
bring this kid up? Right?
Have you heard of him? Okay. Is it wrong for me to say why do you keep bringing his name up and nobody knows who he is?
It's funny to me.
And I don't mean it mean. I'm saying.
The man on the payroll.
No,
Hey,
but,
whatever you say,
I mean,
George.
but you look out for yourself. That's what look out for yourself.
But I also want to look out for others, and I also want to make the path.
I don't think
easier.
that's a right.
You know,
I don't think that's the right. I don't think that's the right thing.
I look out for myself and my family, of course, but I also want to make the path easier for the next guy.
You know what? I think that's.
You don't think so?
I don't.
No, I
For all the
really
comedians
don't.
out there that's
You
seen
made
this
the
clip,
path, you've
I
got
want you to check it out
secure that path.
and
You're not
add to the
helping him
story,
if you're
man.
making the
Let's
path
call
easier
this
for him.
the truth about George Lopez.
He's got
Let's
to
put these
make
stories out
his own path.
because I know I'm not
He's
the
got to
only
make
Latin
that
comic
route. I
this
don't
has
know who he
happened
is.
to.
And I don't want to make him suffer,
And
but you're not doing him
let's shine some light on
anything
what goes
by
on.
making it easier.
I
in this
disagree. I mean, you look
community,
at Richard Pryor, who championed Eddie Murphy, who, you know, when Eddie Murphy walks into...
I don't think he did.
He did. And when Eddie Murphy walks into ABC and says, hey, that's fucking Earthquake, I think he's fucking great, he needs an opportunity, I don't see anything wrong with that. I think that that's a good look, and I think that it helps.
You know
You putting me on this show helps me.
But also, if you don't deliver,
I
I
appreciate
can't
it.
help you.
I don't disagree, of course.
Like if you can
do
deliver,
the work. I don't help those that don't help themselves.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that becomes the thing. Is
But like
that-
I said, I don't help those that don't help themselves. I'm looking for that young guy that's working hard, that's trying to make it. If I can get him to open
But
for
you're
me,
fucking trying to make it. Like, why are you trying to help with some dude that's trying to make it? Like, you need to make it.
I made it. Life's good.
So you don't want to go any higher than
Of
where
course
you are
I
right
want to
now.
go higher. Of course. And I'm going to continue to go higher.
I'm not in the business, but if you want to go higher, then I would believe, just like in anything else, every other aspect
Well,
of
if you're
life,
not in the business, why you
got to
giving fucking advice?
concentrate. You got to concentrate on making yourself. You want to go higher?
look, 1,000%.
Then concentrate on yourself, making yourself higher.
Of course. And I'm on stage every single day, getting better, getting stronger, getting funnier.
If that's
I
what's
will
going to make
say,
you.
I will say something about you. First of all, I don't think you should be worried about anybody else, especially
Especially someone who's not in the
fucking
business.
Jeremy Barbosa. Come on, Jeremy Barbosa. That's his name. I don't know who he is. I don't mean any disrespect, but I don't know who he is.
But Charlie Murphy, my main man, Ric James. That's the one you think, the comedian Ric James. Get up.
I can't hear my neighbor crying, I can't breathe.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, as well as the notification bell. Thank you for watching.